Hey guys, this is Chase. I'm that guy with the gloves, and today is a video I've been putting off for a couple of years now just because of how long it was going to take to do, but it's time. It's time to finally make an update to my WWE collection video series that I've been doing for pretty much ever since I started showcasing the WWE figures. I was doing one every year or every couple of... I was pretty much doing one every single year, and then around 2016 I stopped. I just figured there was just too many figures, but yeah, and really there still are too many figures. I mean, what you're looking at right here, this is just the Hulkamania era of figures. So you're looking at from pretty much when, you know, WWF started. You've got WCW figures all through here. So that's kind of what I wanted to focus on here. Was this is pretty much like from when like Hulkamania started. So let's say like, you know, 1980, as I say, like what, 1983, 1982 when it officially got started, up until about 93, 94. So WrestleMania 9 was basically the cutoff for this video that I wanted to do here. And why don't we just go ahead and get started? Where to start? That's always the problem with these things. I guess we'll start up here. We've got the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper, from the Target Hall of Fame series. Love the kilt. I really like the way the shirt looks. We've got Howard Finkel here. This is his Build-A-Figure from the Walmart exclusive Flashback Basic series. All the figures from that went on sale recently, and I picked up 3 of them, and I had an extra set of arms here. Just had to swap out the hands because they were from the Paul Bear Build-A-Figure. But yeah, really love this. This is probably one of my favorite of the Build-A-Figures. So awesome. Howard Finkel finally got a figure. Here we have the Toys R Us exclusive Bushwhackers. These were the Legend Series 2-pack Elite figures. The other figures in that wave were like Roddy Piper and Cowboy Bob Orton and Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. I got these guys a couple years ago. There are still some paint scuffs here and there, but still, they're such awesome figures, and I'm really sad we haven't seen new Bushwhacker Elite since these. This is the new Hall of Champions, I almost said Hall of Fame, but they recently changed it to Hall of Champions, Paul Bear figure. And I love the facial expression on here. It's my favorite Paul Bear that Mattel has done so far. He comes with a couple of urns and a WWE Championship for The Undertaker. This is an Elite custom of his entrance grates. I have a video of it. Made this a couple years ago. This is one of my favorite Undertaker faces that they've ever done. I just love the zombie eyes that they give him. It's so freaking cool. The gloves were painted. They're not from any of his other series. In fact, I might swap these just because they're chipping a little bit, and you know, might as well put authentic gloves on him rather than the customs that I gave him. Back here is the Elite Series 42 Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I sadly do not have the Brett from that series anymore. I just was not a fan of the face on it, and mine had a lot of weird paint issues. But I have 2 of these Jim the Anvils, and it's a freaking great figure. Here we have the Legend Series Ultimate Warrior. This is not the re-release that came out a couple years ago. This is the authentic Legend Series 1. It's from WrestleMania 6, and it's amazing. It's one of my favorite figures Mattel's ever done. Right here we have Elite 30 Legion of Doom Road Warrior Animal. Love this figure. It's probably one of my favorite Mattel Elites ever. And the Elite 30 Road Warrior Hawk, another great figure. We have the Elite 44 Tugboat. It took a long time to get this figure. I just waited until it was at its absolute cheapest. It's a pretty good figure. I would have went with a more happier expression for Tugboat though, just because, you know, he was a face at the time, and I just think that would have fit the character more. Here we have the Elite Series 25 Bruno Sammartino. He comes with a Hall of Fame plaque and like a Hall of Fame podium. It's just an amazing figure in my opinion. Again, it's one of Mattel's best. It's a very underrated figure. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it that much. We have the Hall of Fame series, George the Animal Steel, and mine. The Hall of Fame series, Jake the Snake Roberts. Pretty awesome with the white tights and everything. Such a cool looking figure. We've got the Legend Series, American Dream, Dusty Rhodes in all of his polka dotted glory, baby. This was the only Dusty Rhodes figure for a long time until we got that one with the WCW ring, and he's now in the Elite 63 series, so I'm happy people are going to have a chance to get more Dusty Rhodes figures. Here we have the then now and forever Elite Miss Elizabeth with a fabric dress looking so freaking cool. I love the black gloves. I actually kind of prefer this one over the first Miss Elizabeth figure that came out. I just really dig the way they did this one. And here we have the Defining Moments Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh yeah. Love the face on him and all of his accessories, and Elizabeth is going to fall over because sadly that's just what happens with the women's figures and the high heels and stuff. So we're going to set her down real quick. Love the fabric robe. Such an amazing figure. Here we have the Bionic Brutus the Barber Beefcake, the Bionic Barber from when he teamed up with Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 9. This is a very highly detailed figure. Like, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show this off, but he's got a lot of texturing to his outfit, and it just looks amazing. And I love the mask that he comes with. By far and away, this is probably Brutus's best figure ever. And we have the Elite Series 23 Macho Man Randy Savage. This is when he defeated Ric Flair for the title. Love the color scheme on it. You know, it just looks very Egyptian, almost like he's a pharaoh. Sadly, it doesn't come with his hat, glasses, or the coat from that event, but damn, still, such a good figure. Here we have the WrestleMania 7 Defining Moments Ultimate Warrior. I do not have the coat for that. I plan to buy a custom for it someday. This has probably one of the more impressive Art Deco pieces I've ever seen on a Mattel figure. It's so well done. Here we have another Defining Moments Ultimate Warrior. It's not everyone's favorite, sadly. Well, not sadly, because it really does not deserve to be Defining Moments. It's a cool figure, but it's the Ultimate Maniacs Warrior. I'm not a fan of this body mold that they gave him. For some reason, it's always like, it's just really stiff, and I don't like the way the head sits on the neck peg. The neck peg here is like it's floating above. So the glasses on him are really cool, but I really do dig this face paint. I think it's pretty awesome. The singlet and everything looks good. I wish it could have been done just a little bit better. But overall, it's an okay figure, and I think I picked him up for like 10 bucks. And back here we have a couple of Sergeant Slaughter figures. This is my only Legend series that I have mint on card. And it's just, I really dig the way they did the card here, where you actually have like a portrait of the wrestler back there. But this is Sergeant Slaughter, and I love that figure. It just looks so freaking cool with his Marine Corps tights and everything like that. And then here's a basic Sergeant Slaughter that I just did a little bit of a repaint on. The back of it here was not painted. It's just such a dumb design flaw with it. I really wish we would have gotten this figure in Elite. I just love the way this one looks. It reminds me so much of his time on G.I. Joe. Would have been so cool to get this in Elite form. Maybe one day. So then, who do we got here hanging up on the cage? We have got the Hall of Champions Series 1 Ultimate Warrior. One of his best. I love the dry brushing that they did on the hair. Looks so good. I love the expression with his face. And this, you know, baby blue Winged Eagle strap title. So awesome. And it makes sense that he's climbing the cage because he had that SummerSlam match with Rick Rude. Up here we've got the Matty Collector Legend Series Rockers figures. I picked these up on Ringside Collectibles for cheap. They were like 10 bucks a figure. And it's such a good deal because they are really hard to get hold of, especially this Marty Jannetty. It's the only Marty Jannetty figure Mattel has done. Love the shirts, love the attire that they chose for them. Maybe they could have gone with the green tights and I would have been happier. It would have been more reminiscent of their Hasbro figures that I used to own. And here we've got Shawn Michaels pre-HBK days, looking awesome. And then over here, climbing the cage with a rubber chicken is Doink the Clown. Just barely making the cut on this Hulkamania thing because he was there at WrestleMania 9, so you know what? He counts. And he's got a rubber chicken. That doesn't come with the figure, it's just something I found at a store with my girlfriend and her grandma, and I decided to pick it up. It's just, you know, compliments Doink so much. It's one of my favorite Elite figures. I prefer this one so much more than the flashback one that came out. I just think this outfit is way more iconic, and yeah, just prefer the color scheme over it. Plus he's got the 3 interchangeable hair pieces, I should say. Coming back down here, we've got the Heenan family. This is Bobby the Brain Heenan from his 4-pack series. God, such a beautiful figure. I really dug it. The gold really pops on that white jacket, and I love the face that they went with him. Such a great Bobby the Brain Heenan figure. It's one of his best. Next to him, we have got another member of the Heenan family. We've got Big John Studd. Good looking figure. Picked him up recently. Also part of the Heenan 4-pack. And Andre the Giant. This is the one from Elite Series 29 where he has the big afro piece. Did a review of him. Feel free to check it out. Love the figure. You can take the singlet off and you have a WrestleMania 1 Andre. Next to him is the Hall of Champions Macho King Randy Savage with this adorable crown. Such a cool figure. Really love the color scheme on it. Next to him is the Legend Series Iron Sheik. Damn good looking figure. I love the tights or the weird pant things that he used to wear. And behind the Macho King we have the Nasty Boys from Elite Series 42. I don't have their coats on. They're in a bin somewhere, but I prefer them without them so you can have the full range of motion. And I do have both pairs of sunglasses. It's just one of them got lost in the bin when I was transporting them. I know it's in the pile of figures now, so I do have these guys complete. Pretty awesome figures. Then we have the natural disasters. We've got Earthquake and Typhoon from the Then, Now, and Forever series. I believe this was series 2. Each one of them came with a tag team championship belt that is currently on the Road Warriors. And then we have the Flashback series, Razor Ramon. I decided to put the defining moments in the next video, and I felt this was probably the best one to put on here because Razor was around at the tail end of the Hulkamania era, so I felt this was appropriate. And I decided to go with this one because this is more of a debut Razor Ramon. And back here we have the Ringside Collectibles exclusive Shawn Michaels. This is a pretty awesome figure. Sadly was left off my best of 2015 list. If I could go back and redo it, I would have included him because I've just grown a real big fondness for this one over time. Such an awesome figure. And we have Yokozuna. This is from the Walmart exclusive Flashback series. This is the one where he has the black tights with the red sumo sash thing. I probably should have went with his Elite Series figure over that one, but I wanted to have one Yokozuna in one of the next videos when I do the new generation era. And right here we have the new Retrofest Honky Tonk Man. Love the jumpsuit on him. I actually would have to say this is probably a better figure than his Elite Series 20, I think it is. 20 or 21. I'm pretty certain it's 20. I love that figure, but I prefer this jumpsuit so much. It looks awesome. This was one of my holy grail figures. I had no idea if I was ever going to own him. This is the Legend Series Rick the Model Martel. Near complete. I'm only missing the sunglasses, but he's got all of the essential Rick Martel, things that you need to have for him. The jacket, the Yes I'm a Model pin, the bow tie, and the atomizer that says Arrogance on it. Such a cool figure. So happy to finally own it. Then we have the Elite Series 12 Papa Shango. This is not the one with the Warrior 2-pack. This is the much higher quality, better Elite Series figure. I believe this is Elite Series 12. Freaking awesome figure. I was always a Papa Shango mark. I don't know why people kind of hated on him for a while. And we have the Hall of Fame series Jimmy Hart. Pretty cool. Nice jacket, Jimmy. Then we have the Toys R Us exclusive Virgil, one of the last Toys R Us exclusive figures. Pretty awesome. He did end up in my best of 2017 video. And Papa Shango just took out Big John Studd. He put a voodoo curse on him. So then we have the basic Howard Finkel series Ted DiBiase in this awesome green suit. Next to him is IRS from Elite Series 40. I mean, damn, dude. He was really cheap when Toys R Us was going out of sale. I mean, he was like $4. So sad. Rest in peace, Toys R Us. Here we have the Elite Series 50 Warlord. Pretty impressive figure. Next to the Elite Series 51, Berserker. I was never a big fan of Berserker, but for $10, I couldn't pass on this figure. It's pretty damn good. And so over here we have a couple more of the Howard Finkel BAF series figures. We've got Cowboy Bob Orton, or Ace as Roddy Piper liked to call him, and Ravishing Rick Rude in the famous LJN pose that I know the boys over at Fully Posable I know they love that. Next to that one, we have got the Legend Series Rick Rude. Freaking amazing figure. I love the tights on him and the robe. Simply ravishing, doing a kissy face. And behind him is the infamous SummerSlam sign that famously tried to murder Mean Gene Okerlund, and he had none of it. Here we have the Fan Central Bobby the Brain Heenan. I took him out of his packaging just for this video. I've yet to really play around with this figure, but amazing figure with a fabric coat. So freaking good. Behind him is everyone's favorite member of the boys club, Narcissist Lex Luger. Had to put him with Bobby just so, you know, Bobby could get his kicks in looking at Lex's gorgeous body there. So this was another Holy Grail figure for me. I had no idea if I was ever going to own it complete, but I do, and I absolutely love it. This is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat when he was rechristened as just the Dragon. And while it was a short-lived gimmick, and if I remember right, Ricky Steamboat wasn't the biggest fan of this, especially because he had to hold in that liquid to spit fire in his mouth for a very long time. It's an amazing piece. Just so freaking cool. All the dragon parts of him and whatnot. So, yeah. Awesome figure. Then we have the Legend Series Macho Man Randy Savage. I got this in a trade with Wadfigs years ago. It remains one of my favorite Randy Savage figures. Sadly, I still do not own a headband for him. One day. Next to him is the Elite Series 35 Earthquake. One of my favorite Mattel figures of all time. It's just such a badass figure. And next to him, we've got the man that defined this whole era. This is the Defining Moments Hulk Hogan. It's really the only Mattel Hulk Hogan figure I own right now. And it's perfect. I freaking love it. Such a badass figure. And then we have the Hall of Fame Series Sergeant Slaughter. Just a great looking figure. And we have the Elite 47 Tatanka. Again, another awesome figure. So glad I own it. Here we have the Legend Series Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And I don't own the flag or the 2x4 for this figure, but I am going to be getting the 2x4 once the Retrofest figure comes out very soon. I know he's available on Megalopolis, or Metro, yeah, it's Megalopolis. Here we have, this is the Hall of Fame Ted DiBiase figure with the Entrance Greats suit. Awesome figure. Amazing Ted DiBiase figure in my opinion. Here we have the Hall of Champions Ultimate Warrior. This is his newest one that came out. I think they finally nailed the Ultimate Warrior head after using the same ones for so long. They finally gave us one where he has the power mullet. It looks awesome. And I have the one with the 3 logos on the trunks. There's a variant where it just has 2. I don't know why, but again, it's just one of my favorite Warrior figures. I sadly don't own the Elite 62 Sting. I think it's far superior than this one, but this is his Defining Moments in the red, white, and blue trunks, the Great American Bash Sting. It's an okay figure, and I picked it up for super cheap. Here we have the Hall of Champions Ron Simmons. Great looking figure. He comes with the WCW Championship. It's the redesigned one when Ric Flair took the big gold belt to WWE with him. Great figure. They finally got the skin tone right on Ron Simmons. Here we have the J.J. Dillon Build-A-Figure Series Ric Flair. This is easily one of Ric Flair's best figures. Face is spot on. The suit's cool and the sunglasses. Totally awesome. And we have the Hall of Fame 4-pack Larry Zbyszko. Got that Hall of Fame 4-pack for super cheap, and I'm so excited because Larry Zbyszko was the one I wanted from it. Here we have the Hall of Fame series Jerry the King Lawler. I don't know how, but this one became the most wanted figure of that series. He was really hard to find. I didn't need the extra pieces because it came with the original Elite Series Jerry the King Lawler. So I could have just slapped those pieces on him. But yeah, so now we have a classic Memphis Jerry Lawler. And then we got the Legend Series Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Found this at a thrift store for about $2. He was horribly paint chipped up. And I repainted the tights and the chest and back, and he's perfect now. And we have the Elite Series 50 or 49. I forget which one it is. I want to say 49. So it's got the Elite Series 49 Brutus the Barber Beefcake. This is a more classic Brutus in his like Zodiac pants. And it's a cool looking figure. I really do like the shears, and the fabric coat's kind of neat, but I still prefer the Bionic Brutus. Then we have the Elite Series 39 British Bulldog. We need more British Bulldog Elites. Just saying. Always loved his tights, the way they would do various versions of the Union Jack and the Bulldog and stuff like that. Such a cool figure. The braids are awesome. Not much more I can say about him. Just a good figure. Here we have the Elite Series 20. I hope it's 20. This is the Honky Tonk Man. And I really do love this one. This is one of my favorite Elite figures. Yes, I do prefer the jumpsuit on his newest figure, the Retrofest, but still, this red one, it's amazing. I love it. Trying to take out everybody in the crowd here. This is the Elite 19 Miss Elizabeth. Great figure. Still prefer the newer one, but it's an awesome figure to say the least. This is one of my very first WWE figures. One of my first WWE Mattel figures, I should say. This is the Defining Moments WrestleMania 7 Macho King Randy Savage. Amazing figure. It's my favorite figure based off of any WrestleMania. Will probably be that way forever. It's awesome. You need to own one of these if you're serious about collecting figures, in my opinion. It's just, how can you not love it? So here we have Hot Rod Roddy Piper. This is a combination figure. This has the entrance great's head and clothing. So we have the fabric kilt. We have the fabric Hot Rod shirt. Yes, I do own the bagpipes for him. And it is on an Elite body. It's on that 2-pack Elite Legend series that came with Bob Orton. Back here we have got the Demolition. Friggin' amazing figures. We've got Elite 28 Crush. We've got the Legend series Axe and Smash. I've done videos on them. Here we have the Defining Moments Ric Flair robe on the Hall of Fame 4-pack Ric Flair body. I prefer this figure over the Defining Moments Rick. I just think it's better. And he's got the big gold belt on him. Looking amazing. Back here we have the Hall of Fame 4-pack series Brainbusters, or as they are known in this 4-pack series, 4 Horsemen. We have got Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. I sadly do not own the Barry Windham anymore. I was never that big of a Barry Windham fan, but I am happy to own these. And I do own the J.J. Dillon Build-A-Figure. It's just going to be made into a custom. Here we have Harlem Heat Elite Series 47, Booker T and Stevie Ray. Amazing figures. We've got Dusty Rhodes, and he's from the WCW ring set. Did a video on that. This is one of the first Mattel figures that I own. This is the Elite Series 14, I want to say. Elite Series 14 Big Boss Man. Back here we've got another amazing figure. This is Jake Roberts, Jake the Snake Roberts. His Legend series in his heel gear. Absolutely love the fire tights. And he's got his Cobra with him. Such a cool freaking accessory. Back here we have got the Junkyard Dogs. Another one of those Elites that I think is very underrated. The tights look amazing. So freaking awesome. And he has an actual chain. Actually an actual dog collar and chain. So again, freaking awesome. So back here we have got Magnum TA. Awesome figure. I think this is another one of those like Bruno Sammartino. It's just underrated. I don't think a lot of people talk about it that much. But again, Magnum, very, very cool figure. We've got the man, the voice of WWF and WCW. We've got Mean Gene Okerlund from the Walmart Flashback series. Amazing Mean Gene figure. This blue coat looks amazing. You can also swap it out for the red coat. I just thought that was such a nice touch. Amazing figure. This is the perfect Mean Gene. It's the best Mean Gene figure of all time. Then we got the Legend series Bam Bam Bigelow. Lovely, lovely figure. I do have the coat and the gauntlets, so he is complete. Then we've got Big Van Vader. Awesome figure. I've got the masks and everything. They're just over in a bin somewhere. And I put the Elite Series 31 Mastodon helmet on this one because this is more of a WCW Vader than that Elite Series than that Elite Series 31 in my opinion. So yeah, he gets the Mastodon helmet. Behind him is the man, the myth, the legend, the Shockmaster. The Shockmaster. San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Easily one of Mattel's best figures of all time. It's just awesome. And then we have the Andre the Giant Elite, which was a Toys R Us / Amazon exclusive. Awesome figure. I love the big giant hands, and this is just classic face Andre. One of those figures that I kind of hope that every serious figure collector has in their collection, just because it's iconic. You gotta love Andre. And all of these figures are housed in my Elite scale ring. I picked this up from Elite Collector 215. Thank you so much for the amazing deal. It came with the cage and everything, so it's like a hodgepodge of pieces, because I've got the 3 blue corner posts, you know, the metallic blue. They look amazing, but then I have a white one right here. So again, he gave this to me for an amazing price, so I'm not going to complain about, you know, having the one white post over here. It's okay. He also gave me the ring skirt here, the Royal Rumble ring skirt. Classic. Friggin' awesome. And it's a WCW ring mat. This came from Ringside Collectibles. It just looks amazing. I do have the ring skirt that came with it as well. So yeah, basically the idea of this, what's going on in the ring here, if you didn't figure it out, it was basically WCW versus WWF. Jerry Lawler was in Memphis. I mean, he wasn't really a part of this era until the new generation hit. Then he became a member of WWF, but I just thought that would look really cool to see in this setup, so I hope you guys enjoyed that too. So if you haven't figured it out, pretty much the plan's going to be to talk about these figures in my collection series in some type of order. We're going to start with the Hulkamania figures as we did here, and then we're going to do New Generation, Attitude Era, WCW/NWO, Ruthless Aggression, the Universe era or the Modern era, and then NXT, and then the women's roster. I figured that would probably be a great way to do this. I might just go ahead and mix the women's superstars with their appropriate era. I don't know how I'm going to do that just yet, so we're just going to play it by ear and see how it goes. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour of the Hulkamania era of WWE Elite figures that I have in my collection. This was Chase from Burnout Inc. I'm that guy with the gloves. Stay tuned for more of this collection series, and I will see you next time. Brother, 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 brother.